the first in the batch, but without any ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first tip I'd like to give is creating fades and crossfades with a shortcut. Now, the concept of this is basically if you have two or more sounds that you'd like to crossfade together or just quickly add a fade on, it's quick, easy, and saves you seconds and many mouse clicks. So I'm just going to get up two random kicks just to kind of show you like a way of, so that's quite a long one, a way of how you can actually merge the two. Now, let's say we just want to have the punch of this, and then eventually let's take the sound of this. Now, obviously, if we just play them, it's pretty rubbish. So what you want to do here for this tip is you want to select the section that you would like to crossfade together. So I'm just going to select these two regions, see these three regions here, sorry, and then you click Command, Alt, and F, and it makes a crossfade for them, as you can hear. Now this also works for other sounds. For example, if you don't want the punch of this, you just want the tail of it, you can do that. So if you select the region that you'd like to fade in or fade out, Command, Alt, F, and then you can drag it from there. It's just a quick way in which you can just add a quick fade and just actually, improve the workflow and work rate of what you're working at. So the next tip I'm going to show you is the importance of freezing, and the tip exactly is freezing for CPU and how you can get the audio out of that without flattening. So I've just got a little sort of thing here. Nothing too incredible, and it's definitely not taking up hardly any CPU. If it is, you should probably get a new computer, no offense. But what we can do here is we can freeze it so we can just hear the audio, but we won't be able to play with this. And what this does, it saves CPU usage because it's just rendering the audio. It's not actually having to resynthesize the sound. So the way you do this is you right-click on the track and then click Freeze Track. And it'll take a small time or a long time to load depending on how long your track is or how long the MIDI clip is. And we can still play it. We can't actually go in and edit the notes or add any notes or anything. However, if you actually want to extract the audio from this and either delete this, you could flatten it. However, that's quite long. So what I do is I create a new audio track that you want to lay it down on, and then you select the regions. So hold Shift and then click both of them, and then you hold Alt and click and drag down. And this basically makes the audio, as you can hear. So my third tip that I'd like to give is what I call hot swapping samples, and it's also what Ableton calls it. So let's, just as an example, get some kicks up and a sort of kick variation that we like. Pretty trappy. Now, say for example, we've got this sort of kick arrangement going on. We like the sort of arrangement of everything, it sounds pretty cool. However, it's the actual sound that we don't like. Now, you can actually change the sound of this without having to drag in a new drum and actually make the same drum group and recreate it. You can actually just copy straight from this. Now the way you do this is you go to View and then you go down to File Manager, and that brings up this little, or this big box around here. Now the way you change the sound here is you click Manage Set. And then it opens up this little view here, which means you view files, and it shows you the files that you're using. So we're using 04 trap kick, industry kick. Now what you do here is you click on that, make sure it's the right sound, and we've used the right sound here. So then you click this little button here, and it turns orange, and it says hot swap mode. And all you do is you find the kick that you like, maybe that or that, and then you just press enter, and there you go.